Well, this marks a special occasion.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, this is going to be the final review of Space 1999.
Oh my God! I can't believe we're here. This time sure flies, doesn't it?
Not really. It took a while.
Well, if you're gonna be that way,
It doesn't matter. Anyway, so the final episode, and I got around to watching it.
Okay. Well, what was this one about? And what was it called?
Oh, it was called The Dorcons.
What?
Yeah, The Dorcons. Well, it wasn't spelled that way. They spelled it with a C, but yeah.
So, let me guess. They were a bunch of dorks.
Well, they were the villains for the most part in this episode. So it starts out, a mysterious craft was floating out in space, and the moon passes by it. So Alpha team's looking at it and wondering, what's this all about? And so it starts to probe the Alpha base.
Oh, my God.
No, not like that. It just scanned them and stuff.
Well, you could have said scanned.
Yeah, all right. And then it takes a particular interest in Maya. And, well, it turns out the Dorcons are her bitter enemies of her people.
Oh, good Lord.
And apparently they're the most powerful race in the galaxy. And so she's all terrified and whatnot. And so the Dorcons...
Well, I can't help it.
Well, they demand that the Alpha people hand her over, and can be on their merry way, And of course, the Koenig says, "Well, we're not doing that," And of course, Tony's like, "Absolutely not. She's my gal."
Oh, that's right. They were an item.
Yeah. And so the Dorcons say, "Well, then you leave us no choice. We're gonna take her." And so they have a battle, and Koenig launches the Eagles after them. They tried to zap them with their lasers and all that, but none of it's any good. The Dorcons are just too powerful, as Maya had told them. I said it was hopeless. And so after they get their asses handed to them, the Dorcons decide they're just going to beam over to the moon base and take Maya.
Oh, wait, they could beam over like Star Trek?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess they just called it teleportation or something. But anyway, basically they just shine a spotlight on the set, and these guys just poop. There they are.
They pooted in?
No, I mean they just appeared.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, they go and get her, but before they arrived, Maya had shapeshifted. But turns out the lead lady here who was sent over to retrieve her had some sort of brooch.
A brooch?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And it glowed and shined a light on everybody. And when it got to Maya, even though she had shapeshifted into another woman, it recognized her and gave her a headache, and she cried and stuff.
Oh, my God, that's terrible. Well, they're villains. Oh, that's right. They're dorks.
Yeah. And so that's about it. Not much they can do. So they take her and zap back over to the Dorcan ship. But Koenig leaps into the spotlight, and he goes over to the ship as well. Well, they slap him around or whatever. Anyway, it turns out the Dorcons are interested in the Psychons.
The who?
Well, that's who Maya's people were.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Psychons. Good Lord. It's like dorks and psychos.
Yeah. Well, the Dorcons can achieve immortality if they take the brain stem from Psychons and implant it in themselves, and then they become immortal.
Well, then what happens to the Psychon?
I thought they would just die.
Yeah, you would think.
But apparently, no, they just sort of live on as sort of brain-dead vegetables,
Well, Tony could probably be satisfied with that.
Yeah, maybe. But Maya didn't seem too happy about the idea.
Well, I guess not.
No, so another little revelation is their leader's Doctor Who.
Oh my God, really? They crossed over?
No, not really. It's just Patrick Troughton played their old leader, so he's getting old, and so he wants that Psychon so they can put the brainstem in him, and then he can become immortal. And so that's basically what they're after. And of course, all the Psychons are dead, so she's the last one. So this is his last chance at immortality.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So, oh my God, man, this seems tough. How the hell are they going to get out of this one?
Well, as luck would have it, there's some royal struggle going on within the Dorcons, and there's this bitchy tutti frutti prince there who realizes if the old man becomes immortal, then he'll never get to be king.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, the old man would never die. I mean, if he's Doctor Who, he could just regenerate.
Yeah, but he's playing a different character. So anyway, that's really their only shot. And so this prince, or what was it? Yeah, I guess he was called a prince. Anyway, he plots to help out Koenig to get to try to free Maya. So he goes and knocks out the guards or whatever, and then helps Koenig escape. And he's you can go free your friend Maya. Of course, he goes down. The Koenig immediately runs down the hall, but he doesn't know where he's going. He gets lost. And
why did the guy put him in the right direction?
I don't know. He just didn't. And then the guards start chasing him, shooting at him, and all this stuff. And then, well, the prince shows up again and kills those guards, and then tells him, "Hey, you go down this hallway to the surgical area. That's where you'll find Maya."
Well, he should have said that in the first place.
I know, but he didn't. So off he goes, and so the prince slips into the guards are still chasing Koenig, so he's got to crawl through the air-conditioned vents.
They have air-conditioned vents on this spaceship.
Yeah, and of course they're big enough for him to crawl through.
Right.
And he eventually gets to the surgical room, but by the time he gets there, the prince has already gone in there and killed the old man.
He killed Doctor Who?
Yes, he killed him, and then decides he's king, and he's going to keep Maya for himself so he can be immortal. So then Koenig bursts in through the air-conditioned vent, and they have a fight. And then, but right before he did, I guess the prince was going to move Maya somewhere else or whatever. So he turned this little stasis beam she was under off. So now she could turn and she could shapeshift again. And so she turns into this monster and, attacks the stupid prince. And then, they knocked him down or whatever. I forget the whole deal, but so Maya and Koenig escape, and they're running down the hall, and I guess he remembered the way back to the teleport area beam, whatever the hell. And they get there, but then the chief lady chick who picked her up in the first place, well, she shows up, and they're supposed to arrest or kill Koenig and Maya because the prince saying, "Oh my God, they murdered the king."
Oh, that bastard. He's just double, timing everybody here.
Yeah, well, he's the bad guy.
Well, they're all the bad guys.
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, but, him even more so.
Right.
So they confront him, and what's-her-face, Koenig, says, "No, we didn't kill him. He did." And, well, since she didn't like the guy in the first place, she believes Koenig.
She believes an alien man she only just met.
Yeah. I mean, she really didn't like this prince guy.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So, I don't know, they fight, and then they blast something, and they're like, "Oh, no, the shield." So the whole ship starts blowing up. Koenig and Maya jump into the beam, and it zaps them back to the moon base.
Well, man, that was lucky.
The whole thing was lucky, really, but, it worked. And then I guess the ship imploded in on itself or some crap. And then that's it. And then they have a little joke. Koenig says, "Wow, that was quite a woman." And then Dr. Russell's jealous. And then, I don't know, some flirty crap between Tony and Maya, and that was it.
So that's how it ends.
Pretty much. I mean, there is this clip they did years later, I guess, for the Blu-ray extra, and it was the lady who played the Sandra character, and she gives like a farewell message to anyone who might catch the signal. As they said, they found a planet, and they're gonna settle it and stay there, and so that's that. As the moon base has to drift off on its own or whatever, because they're out of supplies and shit, you know.
Oh, well, so I guess that wraps up the story in the only way it could have.
Yeah, it could have, because there was no way they were getting back. And even if they did, the Earth, the time differential would have been so incredible that the Earth was way beyond, everyone they knew on Earth is long dead, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess that's sad.
Yeah, I guess so. So anyway, that's that. I guess the show didn't do as well as to merit a third season, so 2 seasons, that was it.
Yeah, there was always some reference that they might, bring it back or do another one.
Yeah, there was attempts at a 2099.
Oh, right, yeah. I guess it would be stupid to say it's 99, because now we know for sure that stuff didn't happen in the year 1999.
Well, I guess you can always say it's an alternate timeline at this point.
Oh, God, not that again.
Yeah, well, so, I don't know. Maybe someone will try to revive the property, because they always do that these days, and that kind of thing. Although it's pretty much been done. I mean, that spinoff, Stargate, was pretty similar. They were on this ship, and they were lost in space.
Yeah, that's the thing. Space 99 was really like Star Trek combined with Lost in Space.
Pretty much. Yeah. I guess they could have used like a smart-ass robot.
And a conniving, mischievous doctor?
Maybe not so much that.
Yeah. Well, that's that. I guess we won't be doing any more reviews.
Well, while I was watching it, even though I had seen some of these episodes in my youth, I'd never gotten to see the entire series. Until I did this. But the production company had done a show previous to that, and called UFO. And so I'm thinking I'll just continue on with that. Like, we'll be going backwards, but I'll review those episodes on the Nailsin Show. And that might be interesting. And these, this is fresh. I've never seen any. I've seen a lot of images from the sexy girls and everything.
Oh, well, of course.
And I don't know. Before that one, there was this puppet show they did. Puppets? Yeah, kind of like, how Super Adventure Team and Team America was?
Really?
Well, not that graphic, but they were puppets.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah. So, UFO, I guess, will be the next one when I get around to watching those. But that's it for Space 1999.